All right, with us, the Harvard Crimson coach and our student athletes. We'll start with a statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions for our student athletes first. Coach?
First off, I'd just like to congratulate Boston College. Thought they played an excellent game. Made some key plays early in the game and made some big saves later in the game to keep us at bay and not allow us to come back. But right now, obviously, just very emotional, very tough group of seniors. To me, that were very special and really great leaders, great human beings, and I think I feel very humbled and honored to be able to coach this team this year.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for our student athletes, and we have microphones which we'll bring to you. Questions for the student athletes? Up front here, please.
Yeah, this is for Jimmy and Kyle. You guys have very publicly talked about, throughout your career, as long as I've been talking to you, about your goals to bring the program back to more people coming to games on campus, obviously to national title goals as well. But with the latter not accomplished, it certainly seems like the former was, with the support you brought out and the anticipation and interest around the program this week. So I'm wondering, I know it's early, but reflecting on your time in terms of bringing the program back that way on campus.
Yeah, I think the program's accomplished a lot the last 2 years, and I think it's only going to keep doing bigger and better things. I think we're a very proud group. I think we're still not, that game still hasn't sank in. But yeah, I think we're very happy with what we've accomplished. But I think we thought we were going to have a better ending this year. So.
Yeah, anytime you play for a program, you definitely want to leave the jersey in a better place, so to speak. And I think we made a, great effort to try to do that. And, the last 2 years, getting back to the NCAA tournament, I think, and getting more support for the team, I think was a great start. And, I've said this before, but Harvard hockey's not going anywhere, I don't think. If you look at, the guys coming in next year, the guys coming back, I wouldn't be surprised to see a national championship anytime soon.
Questions for our student athletes? Yep, right over here, please. Second row.
This one's for Jimmy. They managed to hold you to just a shot through the first two periods, and it looked like you tried to take the game into your own hands a little bit there in the third. Just when you go into that period, did you have a different mindset for the final 20 minutes?
They might have kept me to one shot, but I think I might have had a couple more attempts than that. But I thought they were hard on me and on our line all night. I think we went against McCaution every shift, and I thought he had a pretty good game. And as a team, I thought they blocked a lot of shots. And yeah, we definitely tried to make a push in the third, but came up a little short.
Up front here.
Yeah, for any of the players who wanted the first goal, we saw it go to review, and I think on the radio we said we think this one might be coming back. And I'm wondering what you guys thought during that review. Were you surprised that the goal stood, and did that, was that sort of a jarring way to get the game going in a one-and-done situation?
Yeah, once we saw it go in, they really need some good evidence to call that back. So they didn't really show it much on the Jumbotron. So we were just trying to look forward regardless of the outcome there and be ready for our next shift. So, as soon as something like that happens, you just got to look to move on and get the momentum back on your side.
All right, right next to you.
This one's for Luke. Just look at the guys to the right of you. What about their leadership do you want to kind of carry it into next season?
Yeah. It's a really emotional locker room right now for that reason, just how far these these two guys and all the senior class has brought the program. These two have taught me so much, and I look up to them a lot from work ethic. It's just through the roof. There's a reason they're the captains, and it's not because they're our best players. It's because they're our hardest workers on and off the ice. So they really left the program in a better spot, and we just got to look to keep doing that next year and follow their footsteps.
Any more questions for the? Okay, one more.
Jimmy, on a very talented line, you get a lot of the exposure. But I'm wondering what it was like. Kyle was a second-year captain, and it was your first year. What was it like working with him as co-captains?
Yeah, Luke touched on it a little bit. Kyle's definitely a role model in our locker room, and he taught me so much about being a leader and how to conduct myself. And it was just a huge honor to play with him on the line. And Alex Kerfoot definitely got most of the publicity over the last 2 years, and they always kept their mouth shut and didn't say anything. And I'm definitely gonna miss playing with those guys next year.
All right, any more for the guys? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for your efforts here tonight. Questions for Coach Donato? Right here, please.
Yeah, Coach. I'd like you to share your thoughts on the first goal review, and then generally how you guys responded to being down 2-0 after the first, and what I expect was kind of a jarring way to get this one going.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get a great look at it. Just saw what the replay, on the jumbotron. It looked like there was a little bit of pile up in the net, and appeared that Tuck kind of pushed the goalie in the net, but the good thing about the NCAA is all those plays go to review, so it wasn't like they didn't get a chance to look at it. So obviously they felt it wasn't it was a good goal, and it's our job to respond and to I don't think that one play certainly didn't get us off on the right foot, but I don't think that was the I think that was more indicative of the fact that they won some one-on-one battles down low, down near the front of our net. And, I thought in the second period we were able to kind of claw back and start winning some foot races to pucks and winning some battles. But, they made some key saves, they made some key plays, and, you got to give them a lot of credit. It's a very well-coached team with some great players, and they made the plays they needed to win the game.
Right here, towards the back, Coach.
Teddy, it seemed like there were stretches where, and you kind of alluded to it, that you guys were able to win some battles and stay with that BC team that plays such a frenetic game. You guys had that pace at times. But how hard is it to keep that going line after line, shift after shift, because of the depth that they have?
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, I think I actually almost feel the opposite, in the sense that, with all the timeouts, we felt we were, maybe a little bit deeper in bodies, but they certainly have, they have some of the best players in the country, and some pretty difficult matchups with some big, strong guys that can get around the ice. But I thought that chopped the game up a little bit and allowed them to probably just play their three lines as opposed to having to play four, which we felt was probably a little more to our advantage. But those are all kind of minor parts of the game. We like to play fast. We like when it gets a little frenetic. The issue was in the second period when we were able to maybe turn the game around a little bit. Just being down, 3-1, or as opposed to 2-1 or 1-0, I think just made it a lot tougher hill to climb.
More questions for Coach? One more? Two more?
Yeah, Coach asked Jimmy and Kyle about what they said was sort of their long-stated goal the last couple of years. And they thought it was important to bring Harbor hockey back to national prominence. You got these questions last year, but fair to say that even this year is a jump from last year in terms of tangible indicators. You know, your attendance was up, the interest around the program seems up, and I'm wondering how you compare that to the program that you had when guys like Jimmy and Kyle in that class came here 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of positives, both on and off the ice. I mean, on the ice, we wanted to finish up near the top of our league and get a bye. We were able to do that. We won a couple tournaments during the year, winning a tournament at Notre Dame, beating Notre Dame at Notre Dame, beating Minnesota at Minnesota. Not easy things to do. I think the Beanpot certainly was disappointing, but making it back to the NCAA tournament, it's not an easy task. Making it back to the ECAC championship game, and then individually, Jimmy Vesey's, being able to come back and produce at that level again, at that Hobie Baker type performance. Kyle Criscolo, once again ends up as the student athlete of the year in our league. He's a hockey humanitarian finalist. This is a special group, and I think they've made an impact off the ice and really kind of reestablished all the things that we want our players to represent. And as a coach, you have different groups every year, but this group really was very focused, very responsible on every level, and that's why I think you can see the passion and the emotion. These are special kids, and that's why I said it really was an honor to be around this group of guys as a whole, and certainly the seniors.
Last question for Coach over here.
And I guess this comes a little out of order, but just to go back to the game for a sec, you obviously came in with a bit of a banged-up blue line. It seemed like they overachieved a bit in the conference tournament, but do you think it might have been a little much to overcome here?
Yeah, I think Boston College can make you look like that, I think, at times. But, Desmond Bergen was, we weren't able to get him on the ice over the last few days. So he was, a question mark. We even dressed an extra guy for warm-ups to see if he could play, and he's, probably has the most minutes, or sees the most minutes on the blue line, and not having Wiley Sherman. But, the guys that played their hearts out, and, they made some plays. They scored the power play goal when we had a couple easy opportunities earlier in the power play to clear it. And, I think when it's all said and done, some great players made some great plays for them. And, we had an answer and tried to, create some chances of our own. And, I thought at the end of the first, I think Criscolo had one that was on the goal line there, and Ryan Donato had one that was on the goal line there. And I think just to get it back to one, at the end of the first or even early in the second, would have been, a big emotional hurdle for us at the time.
Coach, thank you very much.
All right, thanks.